Okay, cutting this beautiful blouse. Okay, I will need the length. The fabric is already on fold and there is a back I'm going to use. I will need the length 27. Okay, 27 plus sewing allowance, I'm leaving it as 28. So this is my 28 and then 28. Okay, and the largest part of my measurement is 28 too. So 28 divided by 2, I have 14. So this is my 14 here. Okay, then with the sewing allowance, I will just add just about 1 inch to it, though I've already put extra for that 28 set. So I cut it out now. Okay, I will now input my measurement. Firstly, we come back down by 1 inch for the shoulder slant. I connect it to the neckline here. Okay, and then the bust point is 12.5. Okay, with the sewing allowance, I make it 30. Okay, under bust is 17. Then half length is 21, and then the full length is 27. Okay, got it right. So the rest thing I'm going to connect them through. Just connect them. For the full length, I wouldn't need any extra because it's a lace kind of fabric. So the next thing, I'm going to pick my nipple to nipple. The nipple to nipple is 8. 8 divided by 2, I have 4. Plus the sewing allowance, I have 4.5. Okay, the same thing I put here, 4.5. Then 4.5. Okay, so I connect them together. If you are yet to see my basic point, okay, so I'll be putting my shoulder measurement, which is 15. 15 divided by 2, I have 7.5, plus my sewing allowance, I have 8. So from that my shoulder measurement, I will come down to get my armhole line, and my armhole line is 8. Basic 8 is 8 basically. So I connect it. And then draw out this. So this is my chest line from the end of the armhole line is my chest line. So what do? Half of my 8 is what? 4 inches. So from this 4 inches, I just make my cuff. If you have cuff roller, good. But in an absence of cuff roller, I just use a free hand. Okay, so the next thing, I'm going to put my horizontal measurement, the body, the measurement of the body now. Okay, so for the bust is I have is 48 basically. 48 divided by 2, 48 divided by 4, I have 12. This is 12. Is that 12? Then okay, then on the bust is 40. 40 divided by 4, I have 10. And then the waist measurement 42. 42 divided by, I have 10.5. I have not put my sewing allowance there, of course. Then this is my bust point. I'm going to just use a basic darts. I'm not using bustier or anything. I'm just going to use my basic measurements. Okay, putting in simple basic darts. So from the nipple line, I'm going to mark in 0.7 on both sides, 0.75. So the next thing I connect it to the nipple point. Just a simple dart. It's not any bustier. So this is a normal basic dart for any blouse. Okay, and the dart is taken right from the end of the hemming line. Okay, simple. So having created my dart now, the distance between the lower part is about 1.5. So I'll be adding that 1.5 to the basic measurement, 1.5, the 1 inch allowance, sewing allowance. Okay, the one under bust is not up to 1.5, it's about 1 inch. Okay, so I will add the 1 inch to the measurement, and then 1 inch for sewing allowance. Then for the nipple points, it's not up to 1, so just maybe 0.5. I add that to the measurements, and then 1 inch sewing allowance. 1 inch for the sewing allowance. Okay, so then from that nipple point, I connect it to the armhole line. Then for the hip, the measurement for the hip is 44 divided by 4, 11. Then the dart line, which is 1.5, I add it to it. Okay, and then 1 inch for sewing allowance. So the next thing is to be connected, connect them together. Because the bust point line and the chest line take the same measurements. Okay, then cut. If you see that the neck design is not yet cut because of the design to be put, so the design for the neck will be done later. So the next thing is cut them out. Okay, I haven't cut it now. Notch the dart area so that you know where you're going to put your dart. So this is a basic cutting. This is the basic cutting. Okay, so the next thing is I'll be cutting out the area for the yoke, and the area is going to be a kind of curve designer shape. You can put any design there, but I decide to measure it from there, then to the nipple point down, then down to the breast points, then to the under. Just give it any shape you want, but I just decided to put this kind of curve design. Then when I cut it out, the one I'm shaping now is going to be, I will replace it with the net lace. Okay, just to give it any design, any side you want, whether it's left or right, but I'm taking the left hand side one. So just trace it very well so that you know what you are cutting. Remember, I'm using this chalk because I know it can be dusted out. Don't use what cannot be cleaned so that doesn't stay in your cloth. And of course, I'm using the back of the fabric. So the next thing, I cut it out. You take your time so you can get the shape you want. If you like, I use a straight shape. You can follow the design I'm using. The choice is yours. Okay. Okay, the yoke has been cut now. This is design for the yoke. So I place it on this net to cut it out. Place it on the net and then trace it out. Okay, it has been traced out. So in the tracing, you see that I left ½ inch on the lace because of your fixing it back. I left half on the lace. Okay, lo and behold, I've fixed it. You can see how it's coming out beautifully already. And if you still take note of it, okay, you notch the place you cut so that when you are stretching it, when you are ironing it, will come out neatly. You can see it's already very neatly cut out. And then if you take note, I'm here to put my neck design. Okay, I'm here to put my neck design. So I'll be putting the neck design. Okay, so before that, the back panel is here to be cut. So just place the front part on the fabric, the menu fabric. Okay, and then the back panel, we also have a lace, just about 5 inches deep of lace. So in cutting the back panel now, the allowance for the lace will be cut so that we don't waste the fabric. So just mark where the 5 inches will stay. So my cutting start from there. My cutting start from there. And because it's the back panel, I left the zipper allowance, 1 inch zipper allowance there for the zip. Okay, for the zip. That means the difference between the front panel and the back panel. The zip allowance there. Okay, so I'll be cutting it from that 5 inches depth. So after cutting it, I will join the lace before I cut the armhole for the back panel. Okay, so I can just trace this one. That is where the net is going to stay. Just cut it out, then trace it out. See, so the net will be joined to that place, the back yoke. Then I will notch the back panel where the dart will be. Still the same straight back, and then the edge where the zip will start from, it's good you notch it so that you know where you are starting from. Okay, so that's the back panel. I'm notching where the zip will be too. So I haven't done that. I will need the neck design now. I'll cut it right on the net, if not we will not see it very well. So I'm cutting sweetheart neck design there. Okay, so I've created the slanting there first, then the armhole line, it's not the armhole line, sorry, the neckline is 6, and then the wideness is 3.5, the length is, the depth is 6 inches. So half of 6 inches is 3. So because it's a straight neckline, so from that half of that 6, you cuff it to the end of the line. Simple, very simple to cut. The sweet neck design. Okay, it's very simple. The length, divide the length by 2, then cut from the middle to the end of the line. So it will be easier to place on the fabric now. Yes, because if I'm to mark the necklace, you won't see the marking. So that's why I decided for the pattern paper. Okay, remember the back panel doesn't have sweep neck, so just mark the notch it where the neck will start from. Then remove the front panel to cut it separately. So just be very careful. So you remove it and then cut it separately. Be very careful in your tracing it. Okay, and lo and behold, our fine design is ready. Beautiful. Okay, so the back panel, I will just cut it 2 inches deep from where I notch. 2 inches deep from where I notch. Cut it. Okay, just 2 inches deep. Yes, beautiful. So I will be cutting the lining for each of the fabric. Cut the lining, fix the zip, and then I come back to show us. Okay, in my next video I will be cutting the lining, how to cut lining. Just wait and see my next video. Okay, I've coupled the lining, the front and the back together. It's coming out beautiful already. You can see it. I've put my darts there. It's coming out beautifully already. Yes, it needs a good press, hot press. And this is what I will be using for the sleeve. And then this lace tip, I will pleat it around the round sleeve of the sleeve. Oh wow, this is the end of the sewing. If you give it a good press now, you see now. So I use this nails to just design the cuff. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks.